everyone, welcome to my channel. Kind of what I'm going to be getting into today, or what inspired today's video, is shoes that do not fit right. Like, it's a pretty common problem, not only for me, but, a lot of people, and what kind of triggered my problem was I went to a podiatrist earlier today, and for those of you that don't know what a podiatrist is, it's actually a foot doctor. I have had a lot of problems with my feet over the last few months that I've kind of pushing this aside because I just, I didn't fit buying new shoes, or I didn't have time, or whatever it may have been. Got to the point where it hurt to walk a little bit after a long day, and my feet were throbbing, and some people are like, well, your shoes don't fit. Well, I didn't think it was that, because my whole life, every shoe, I feel like it was always like 6.5, 7. So, anyways, went to the podiatrist, and symptoms of everything is not wearing shoes that fit right. So when I went to a place that he recommended that I go, it wasn't like a shoe store actually, or specialty store. Maybe there's a specialty store in where you are to go look that out. Where he recommended I go to is the NTC, which is a National Training Center that I actually have in my area. Where I was fortunate enough just to be able to go, and they do this complimentary shoe fitting for you. And it's not just, you put your foot on a scale, they measure it, and they see, where your foot lies, that's a shoe size. No, they actually want you to bring in your old shoes. So I had brought my running shoes with me that I'd been reusing. These, I have another pair of Nikes that are white and gray, and they have neon laces, and they're actually like a gel sole to them, and that's actually why I got them. But long story short is that I now know these are too small. But before I get into why they're too small, why they have you bring in your old running shoes, is they actually want to look at the bottom of your shoe. Like a tire tells when the treads wear, it shows where your tire's rubbing off more so than, or the tire pattern will tell where your tire's actually rubbing off on. Your shoes will do the same. So by looking at my old shoes, sorry to bring this raunchiness on here, but you see where the heel is, there's a lot of wear right here, and that's actually very common, she said. And off to the side, it's not natural to have the wear be directly underneath. So the heel bone isn't dead center, it's off to the side a little bit. So this is completely normal, average. She said no big issue there. But when she looked at the bottom part of here, she said it's not horrible or very dramatic, but my wear pattern was more off to the side, and it's actually supposed to be a little bit more center rather than it being all the way over here. So she's saying basically when I run, my foot is kind of, when I push off or something, my foot's kind of coming to the side instead of actually being straight. So she saw me in my old shoes. Both shoes were kind of the same wear, and at the tops right here, it's embarrassing, but on the tops right here, I had little holes. I just thought it was the way my shoe just fit. It, didn't feel any different. Shoe's too small. My foot's popping up a little bit. So that's obviously, that's saying right there. So going into that, she actually, after she looked at that, she had me just in my socks walk down the walkway, and she was paying attention to how my feet move outside of my shoes to see how my arches move and the pressure points and how I walk. And she noticed that my right arch kind of collapsed in a little bit as I pushed off. So for that, I would need something that had a little more arch support rather than going with a whatever type of shoe. And especially if I was more focused on running, she also wondered what my goals were with the shoes. I said running, working out, and all day I'm on my feet. That's my job. I work retail. So she just kind of told me, ideally, if you could afford it and, to have that luxury, 2 pairs of shoes, one for running and then one for walking, and kind of like working out essentially, because when you have running shoes, the shoe molds to your foot, and when you run, the pattern that your foot gives, it spreads out a little bit. So that's what the mold that you want your foot to get kind of growing with your shoe. So if you have one specifically for running, then those shoes are already molded to your foot when the pattern your foot gives when it's running. If you have shoes that are for walking and kind of working out and stuff, not as intense as running, your foot has a different type of pattern when it's doing those activities. Didn't have that luxury, so she's able to get me into a pair of shoes that not only would they have be wonderful to work in, I can run in them, I can work out in them, and my foot's going to have a lot more support and more importantly alleviate a lot of the problems that I was having to begin with. So she had me try on 3 pairs of shoes. And then she also had me walk on a treadmill and like walk down the walkway just to see how the arches in the actual shoe fit. Some of them sit higher, some of them sit further back where the arch support sits, and just to see how I like the way the shoe fits instead of just putting me in a size shoe and saying, hey, this is what your size is. Move around in it first. And I know that's not always the case when you're in a store, kind of, shopping, whether, it's a mall or a plaza or whatever it may be. That's why I recommend kind of going somewhere to a specialty where they kind of fit you for your shoes, just because that way you have a better guideline to look after. And the shoes I ended up walking away with were, let's take one other box, Nike Air Zoom Structure 18. Here, I'll let you guys see the tag. And normally in a lot of things, I am a size 7, 6.5. I had been wearing the wrong size shoe, I guess, but when I wear Chucks and I wear flats and stuff, they're fine. Running, working out, not so much. That's what was causing a lot of my problems to begin with. So, but I ended up getting these guys right here. Pretty awesome. One thing, I guess, to like kind of go over, like I said, I just got them today. I like the way the knitting is over the toe. It's just restructured in so your toe doesn't peek out through here. These guys right here, beside looking from the hole, I didn't like how that structure was there on my foot. I like how it's reinforced right here. It's very free, kind of like a sock almost. Another thing that sorry everyone, this is Gina, are the bands where the laces feed through on both sides. So when I tighten the laces, this actually runs all the way through the shoe. One side comes out, the other, and it actually pulls your foot together. So it actually holds the arch and everything supported together. And then I have the padding, and I have a nice little arch in here that's great for my feet. And more importantly, she says that the key thing to pay attention to is your thumb. You want to make sure, if I can show this to you guys, I'll make sure that between the top of the shoe, right where that structure is, and your toe, there's at least a thumb movement space away, so that way your feet actually have room to move around. I'm not talking about being loose where your heel's popping out the back of your shoe, or that your toes are like wiggling like all the way back here, but you need room because your feet do expand and they tend to swell a little bit when you are running or working out or you're on your feet all day. So these were $120. I know it's pricey, but I just thought of it as an investment for myself, just because I am starting to get back into working out, and I really want to make sure that I take care of my feet, because if you don't, it'll just lead to issues down the road, and I want to make sure that I can keep up with this lifestyle that I want to live. So I got a nice pair of shoes to start with, and I'm going to see how they go. I'm going to go to the gym later tonight, try them out again, even though I was on a treadmill earlier with them. So that is what I have to talk about, and why I kind of was so inspired by my shoes is I actually been thinking about making a YouTube video for quite some time now, and I didn't quite work up the courage to do it, believe it or not. It's actually kind of a little nerve-wracking talking to a camera and knowing people are going to be watching this, so, but more so than anything, I want to make sure that I can help someone else, because I was totally unclear on how actually fitting your shoes properly, fitting your shoes and your feet and all that went. And if this wasn't a good enough video, feel free to let me know, leave questions in the bottom box, and I'll get back to you. And this is going to be my first YouTube video. Hopefully I'll be able to make some more, kind of just going like on my journey with the fit life and trying to be healthy in lifestyle and just trying to share what I know and what I'm doing with you guys. But I also feel like this is going to be like a hodgepodge of like a bunch of different things like DIYs and recipes and fashion, all that kind of stuff. I just want to get into a little bit of everything. But I just want to make sure that I am giving you guys something you guys want to watch. So if you guys have any requests about anything, feel free to leave that in the bottom box below. And more importantly, if you want to connect with me, get on Twitter. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave those in the box below as well. And if you have any more questions, leave them down. But until next time, I hope this was helpful, and you guys have a good one. Bye.